What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Takara Tomy MPG Trainbot Seizan, which is the next in the series of trainbots that make up the combiner Raiden. So we have been taking a look at each of these as they come out. I definitely would be out on this set, but my friend G. Tony is collecting these, so he's allowing me to hold on to these until we get the full combiner, and then we'll send them off to him. But let's take a look at the train. It is actually a pretty nice looking train. Translucent blue glass here, silver paint along the edges of the frame, tampo detail there, silver across here, silver and red lights on the front. There is a little logo there. I think it's the train company from Japan, but you can actually change that out. Coming to the side, you got the red and beige paint all down the side, and then on the top you got this gray. Here's the back. You have a door that's also painted blue and gray. Here's the bottom. It is a overall nice looking train. It does fit on the track, sort of. It likes to fall off the track, but you can kind of display it like this. The tracks do plug in together, so you can plug all of the tracks we've gotten so far together, and it does look nice, but they are different sizes. So the width of the tracks changes based on the... So you can't really roll them all down the tracks, but you can display them together. Later, when we bring them in for comparison, I'll show you how you connect them together. But you can also store all of the weapons. So one weapon is actually already in here. You can kind of see it. It's right there, and on the other side right there. So we do have that in there. I'll just show you if you bring apart, and this is actually part of the transformation. It's how you transform it. You can see I've got the two guns stored in there, and I also have the cannon in there as well. So later we'll take those out, but you can see they're stored right here. They just plug into the side. So there's a little tab, and they just plug in right there. And we'll take a look at that when we transform it, but just wanted to mention those are already stored in there. And to plug it back in, you're just going to plug in the top first, and then the bottom. We can also take his blaster here. So it looks like this. You're going to fold up the handle, fold up the top, and then there's a little slot right here and a tab. You can take that and plug that in. Looks like that. Then we can take the tracks, and this is interesting. This is the first time we've seen this. They have a storage for the sword right here. So that'll just fit right there. And now we've stowed away all the weapons. And I do think that's pretty cool that they figured out a way to stow everything on board. We also get this adapter here, which is meant for, you know, displaying him on a stand, but it doesn't come with a flight stand. That's what these holes are for. You take the flight stand from other figures, and then you can plug it in there. Now, if you're getting the box set, you will get the stands, but basically you can have them flying through the air. But to me personally, I think it's silly. If you're going to give the flight adapter, give the flight stand. And the last bit here is this. So if you want a different look for the front of the train, you can have it. I think the Autobot symbol makes the most sense, but you can also have just a no symbol, just a flat blue. So what you're going to do is open up this, flip it open. You're going to flip down to this panel, and you can see that little piece of paper actually popped out. And you can see there's the symbol for the train, and then here's the Autobot symbol. So I'm going to replace it with the Autobot symbol. And all right, as you're putting this in, make sure you put it with the Autobot symbol down, so that you have the chin facing towards the front of this. Go ahead and close that up, close this up, plug that back in, and now we have the Autobot symbol on the front of the train. All right, and there you have it. This is the moment of Zen, having all the trains together. This is kind of, I guess, the strong suit of this set. They do look good together as a train set. You can combine the tracks together, but you can also combine the trains together. So you can take, let's say, these two, and we'll combine these tracks, and you can already see they're different sizes, but let's see how they look. And we're going to take the back here, and they're just going to plug together, and then we're going to set them down here. They don't really roll on the tracks just because, like I mentioned, they're different sizes, so it's more meant to just sit on the track. But you can do that. I think this is one of the draws of this set, but there you go. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to MP10 Optimus Prime and a retail version of Optimus from the ROTB movie. You can see definitely does not fit in MP. You might be able to pass it in the retail line, but it is a relatively small size train. But yeah, there you go for comparison. All right, now let's get Seizan transformed into robot mode. And it is a parts former, but we'll take care of it. Go ahead and take the gun off the bottom. We're going to separate the section here, so pull the bottom out first, then pull the top. It is transparent plastic, so just be aware that these tabs, you want to be careful. Set that aside for now, and we'll take care of this. So go ahead and we're going to open up the panels here. Then that'll allow you to take this and unpeg it from here on both sides. Kind of just pull it apart a little bit, and that will free up these panels. So these are on a double hinge here, so you're going to unpeg it from here, open this up, fold that flap down, and then flap that to the side. All right, same with this one. Open this up, fold that flap down, flap this to the side. You can come to here, and we're going to take apart the legs, like so. Come to the inside, we're going to open up this panel, bring down the wheels, and they'll give you some room here to take all of this, and this will fold up. And you want to make sure this thing that's on a slider is slid all the way down. It's a little bit counterintuitive. I'm not really sure why they have it like that, but there's a tab on the inside of this door. It's going to fit inside of here. So line this up and tab it in. Right? You take this, slide that back down. It's just going to sit on top of here. Come to the foot. You're going to put pull the foot down. We're going to open up this panel here. That'll allow you to open up this foot. We're going to rotate this whole panel up so the door sits flat. And then in the instructions, they have this at an angle so that when you collapse the foot back down, this fits in there. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but you know, it does fit in there. And then last step, you're going to take this panel, rotate that in to hide that away. All right. So exact same thing on this side. I'm not going to spend time. I'll do that off camera. I'll be right back. Right now that we have the legs all taken care of, let's take care of the upper body. So we can come to here. We're going to slide these panels. They're actually tabbed in right here. And same for this one. You're going to open this up and slide this down. That'll allow you to take this and open up these panels on both sides. They're actually tabbed into the side of the arms. So when you go back to train one, just make sure you get these tabs in. You can take this whole panel and lift this up and out of the way. You can kind of see how it exposed the chest. We're going to separate this panel. It just feels awful, but it's an over-under tab. So try to get that separated by separating the over-under. Should look like that. And we're going to take these arms are kind of weird, but bring these back. And we're going to rotate this panel. Rotate the arm. So it should end up looking like this. Right. Rotate the arm forward. We can open up this panel, fold out the hand, and that's what the arm should look like. This is going to collapse down. And we're going to bring this over. I'm going to fold this panel underneath. And we should end up with something like that. All right, so go ahead, do the same thing on this side. Next, we'll go ahead and take the head, slide that forward so it sits kind of more in the middle, looking like this. And now we're ready for this backpack piece. So go ahead and we're going to open up these. They're tabbed in here and here. And you can open that up. You can see here's the guns I was talking about earlier. So you just unpeg those from here. And we'll set those aside. You can pull out this piece right here, the cannon. And just set that aside as well. We're going to take all of this. This is going to accordion up. Fold these down. Make sure they're clearing. Again, translucent plastic, you do want to be careful. Pull up on these, rotate them around, tab them back in. Same on this side, pull up, rotate, tab back in. You're going to come in and sit like that. You're going to take this panel, open this up, it's going to just sit on the back. You can see how there's an L shape, so make sure you have it configured like this, kind of back. And this is going to come down and sit right here. Come to the inside, there's a little peg, and if you can't get to it, use a spudger, but basically you're going to lift up on this. That's the tab that goes into his back. It's asymmetrical. It really would have been better if they had something to hold it, support it. Basically, you're going to get a finger under here, and you're going to come to here and get that plugged into the back right there. All right, put that down. And kind of the finishing touch, and by the way, if you don't rotate the legs, he'll fall down. So rotate the legs out. Take this, his signature cannon, get that plugged into the side, and then you can extend this a little bit. All right, and there we have Seizan in robot mode. And this is a rough one, man. I mean, it looks okay from the front, but he's very unstable. You can see I have the legs kind of rotated outwards. If you have the legs kind of in an A stance like this, it's just too back heavy. I mean, you can see it. I mean, there's just too much weight distributed too far back, and he doesn't have heels that are designed strong enough to actually like hold him up. So you really end up having to rotate the legs. I do like the head sculpt. You got some nice paint on there. Silver paint with blue eyes. Gunmetal for the head. You got a metallic blue here for the chest. These chest pieces like to slide in accidentally without you pushing them, so you just got to watch out for that. Autobot logo template there. The paint on the top of the train comes out nicely there. But let's talk about the articulation. And I'm going to try not to knock this backpack off. It is relatively easy to knock out because the connection point is pretty small. But if it does come off, I'm just going to leave it off for articulation. Head goes up to there, down to there. You get side to side, and you get to rotate around. It does hinder, the backpack hinders it a little bit. Shoulders rotate around on this joint here. It's kind of a strange joint. I haven't seen one like that before. It goes up to here, but again, hindered by its own backpack. You have a butterfly joint built in just due to the transformation. You also get out on this joint here, which is ratcheted. So there are a lot of joints at that shoulder. You get a rotation here at the bicep. You have a single jointed elbow, gets you past 90 degrees. Rotation at the wrist. Single pin for the hands, gets you out to there. You have a rotation here at the waist. Oh, and came true. I'm just going to leave it. Rotation at the waist. You have an ab crunch. You get all the way down to there. It's actually pretty impressive. I wasn't expecting that much movement there. Hip skirts on the side, front, and back. Allow the leg to go up to there on a ratchet, soft ratchet. Back to here, it's hindered by the sculpt. So I don't even know why you have this hip skirt here. You don't need it because it doesn't do anything. Legs go out to the side on a soft ratchet as well. Rotation at the thigh, looks like a cut joint for that. You have a 90-degree bend. No, not even 90. You get a little less than 90 at the knee just due to the sculpt. You have an ankle tilt here. These ankles are a little awkward, and they tend to like get caught up, but you do get ankle tilt, and then you get pivot up and down. For his accessories, you do get the blaster here, which we had folded up. We'll fold that out. If you open up the hand, there is a peg system like you would expect for Masterpiece figures. The funny thing is, it doesn't peg in all that well. Kind of sort of sits in there, but that does look pretty nice. It's just not the most secure. You can also use this gun, which kind of a bigger gun, and that'll go into either hand as well with a tab. Again, not the most secure fit, but you can do that. You can also take and store the gun. So if we take off the backpack and we accidentally push this chest in, I really don't like that, but you can actually store both of these guns away. So fold up the handle, fold up the tip, Go to the inside, and like I mentioned during transformation, you could leave these on here. But just to show you, you can fold that back up, and there's a little tab right here. You get that tab into there, and then we're going to take this one, same thing, and now these two can be stored on his backpack. I mean, it's always nice to have, you know, a little bit of weapon storage. Appreciate when they do that. So there you go. You can store that stuff away. We also get his sword here, done in this translucent blue with metallic blue for the handle. And this will fit into his hand, just like the other one. Actually, I think this might be only for one hand. That's interesting. I just noticed that. I didn't realize. But the tab, the way it's designed, it'll only fit on one side. Yeah, so it is side specific. Can only go on one side. But it is a nice looking sword. It seems like a silly thing to make that functionality so limited. All right, and for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Magic Square Optimus Prime and the Earthrise Optimus Prime. And for me personally, just too small to fit in Masterpiece scale. I know every time I do a review on one of these guys, people leave a comment saying that is actually the correct scale. But to me, the aesthetic, the proportions, and the overall look, that's what makes it not fit with the Masterpiece, right? It actually does look like it goes with a retail collection. You know, not only the size, but the proportions and the overall aesthetic. So final recommendations on the Takara Tomy MPG Seizan. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5. I'm not going to recommend it. It just has too many problems going on. I do think it looks nice in train mode, and it works in train mode, sort of. It doesn't quite stay on the track, but it works as a train. But as soon as you get to robot mode, just tons of problems. The backpack likes to fall off. The weapons don't fit securely. You know, getting him into a pose is a little challenging because he's very back heavy. Setting up this, I don't want to even touch it because I just want it to fall down. Really just not fun. You know, not a fun figure. Even the transformation, just not very fun. So yeah, I can't really recommend it. Now I'm in for the whole set because I'm trying to get to the combined mode. Thanks to Tony for allowing me to take a look at all these before sending them over to him. But yeah, they just really don't do it for me. But if you're interested in picking this up, they are available at the Chosen Prime. That's where I got this one. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.